In life, you have several assets that you have. It's your body, it's your mind, it's your surrounding, so on and so on. I'll concentrate on these three, in particularly today, on your mind. Your mind has to be sharp. Always. You can develop your muscles, you can go to the gym, you can weight lift, you can do heavy trainings, you can do the HIIT training, everything. Perfect, amazing. But you should never forget about your mind. And what is the best tool to improve your mind is, of course, reading. I wanted to share with you, at this point, 3 books that influenced my life decisions, I would say, life choices, life progression, I would say. And the first one of them would be Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And I remember 2023, I saw a reel on Instagram which was basically saying the living Superman in the world, David Goggins, who runs marathons, who does thousands of pull-ups and push-ups non-stop, and I was just, intrigued. Who is this guy? Why is he in my feed at this moment? And I made some, digging in the internet, and I found out that he is an ex-SEAL, and he is the sportsman, he's a marathon runner, and all this cool stuff. Okay. And he had the book, Can't Hurt Me. I got the copy. I got the copy for my Kindle, and I started reading it, and I couldn't stop. The book captures you from the first pages by its raw, unfiltered information. Basically, it was just like telling you what you don't want to hear. Goggins was just explaining all the steps of his life starting from a childhood, giving you some protocols, how he fought with his issues, all these tricks that would keep his mind going, and the problems that he had and how he overcame them. And I wouldn't say that I found myself in the same situation like he did, but I got hooked up. I got hooked up on this, I got inspired, and that was the moment I started running as well. Truth to be told, I hate running, and I am physically incapable of running long distances. I do not possess the skill nor patience for this. I cannot even run. No, ability of running exists for everyone, but will to do this, no. I would rather walk. I'm more of a walking person. Yet I went for this. I started running every day, 1 kilometer, doing the laps on a stadium. It was painful. It was painful, not gonna lie, and I had to stop at some points. I had to increase, I had to work. I still did this for a very long time. And I should say thank you to David Goggins, who influenced my mind and moved me towards the sport. I started training. I started looking after myself. I started thinking what is the product that I'm putting in my mind. And then summer of the same year came. And the second book would be the Modern Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger. It sounds a little bit tricky, like, hey, how could it influence your mind? And looking at me now, you would say that, oh man, you don't look that jacked. You are not a bodybuilder. And I'm not saying that anyone should be. It's your choice. But the book itself was influential for me as per understanding the body, the function, the training, the diet, the routine. I just wanted to be there, like not training as hard as Arne did, but just, like feeling this competitiveness, improving the body, doing something for the body, hearing this clanking sound of metal, the weights going around. It was the moment of 2023 summer. I got weights. I got some dumbbells that I still keep in my house, and I use them regularly. I haven't stopped training since. with adjustment, of course, but my aim is a bit different than theirs. Yet that book was just a pure encyclopedia of the body, I would even say. Even up to this moment, I from time to time open it looking for, okay, exercise, what should I do, how should I do this? If I don't understand it from the text, I can Google and see the video about it. What about the diet, what to put there, how to use it, just little tricks and hints, putting it together like a nice soup. And the third book would be a little bit out of the spectrum of these two, and it would say one of the pieces of literature that put me on the rails to dream a bit more. I would call this, it's a series of books. It's the Kingslayer Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss. The book itself is a great piece of literature written in a language that just captivating. The vocab, the wording, the verbose explanation and description of the scenes, I felt charmed from the first pages. I was skeptical because it was in one of the recommendations, in a Goodreads, and I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot, just to experiment. It was amazing. I'm still waiting for the third book, so please, come on, Patrick, if you're gonna finish it, let us know. Waiting every day. So these three books, they inspired me from different perspectives, from sport running, from lifting, from being more creative with your words, and even dreaming, because once again, Name of the Wind must start. Give it a try. You'll see the story, the dialogues, the monologues. That's beautiful, beautiful. I still have highlights on my Kindle from every page that I read there, and I wish to remember and quote them daily. Beautiful piece of literature. All of these books, they made me think about things that I couldn't even imagine before. Like, I would never think about running up to that time. I would never think about lifting weights. I was very skeptical about protein and gym and benefits of it. I just changed in my mind, and I feel good returning to these books. I actually do own encyclopedia of bodybuilding in hard copy, and I also have Can't Hurt Me also in hard copy as a gift for myself, which I reread in parts when I feel a little bit down, or not a little bit, but down. It helps me to maintain the level of life, I would say. Sometimes we spiral down to dark places, and things like that, they help us to find a way back, to find something that we can grasp and come back. If you want to read something, you don't need to follow my advice, no. You may take a look at this if you want. You don't need to follow anyone's advice. My suggestion would be experiment. Read few pages, read several pages, read 50 pages, as they would say. If you like it, go on with it. But don't listen to anyone who tells you, like, you must read this book. No, you must read what you want to. So if you feel like the bodybuilding encyclopedia would be the go-to reading for today, go ahead. Keep your mind sharp. Keep reading, keep training, keep doing things, keep improving yourself.